Hello, good morning, students. So, I hope that you have watched the video links that I've uploaded. Okay, so in the previous videos, I have discussed about the classifications of SQL statement, that is the DDL, DML, DCL, and TCL. Okay, so uh, I described some of the keywords that you use, the commands that you use, such as like create database, okay, create table, alter table, drop table, then data manipulation language such as like delete, insert, truncate, update, select. Okay, so all of these things, these commands, these statements, okay, will be using in SQL. Now keep in mind that this SQL is mostly practical. Okay, so I'll try my best to explain the concept to you. Okay, so as far as possible, you practice this in your system. Okay, in your desktop or laptop. Okay, all the examples that are there in the textbook. That way, you will understand it much faster and much easier. Okay, so here I'll just go briefly. Okay, uh, the SQL data types. So here you have four data types, that is just like C++. Okay, here you have the first data type is varchar2. Okay, and within the bracket, that is the width. Okay, that is the width. So when you use this data type, okay, so varchar2 or varchar, okay, so you use the within this parenthesis, you use uh, the width to signify the width. So suppose the name, okay, like in here. Now here you have the t name. Okay, so the t name here is the data type is varchar2. Okay, and the length is 25. That means in this case, okay, the maximum length of that particular name will be 25 alphabets long. It cannot exceed more than that. Okay, so it is written in this format: t name varchar2 within the bracket 25. Okay, similarly character. Okay, so here also, okay, so character also within the parenthesis, the width of that size is signified. Okay, the difference between varchar2 and uh, character is, okay, this is variable length and this is fixed length. Okay, variable length means, okay, in here t name, okay, it may be that not all of the teacher's name will be up to 25 characters long. Okay, it may be that some may be only 4 alphabets, some may be 10 alphabets, some of the teacher's name may be only 10 alphabets, some may be 20 alphabets. Okay, so in that case what happened is that, okay, whatever remaining size is left, okay, it will be ignored by the compiler. Okay, so no errors will be generated. But in the case of character, okay, it is fixed length. That means if it is t number, okay, t number is character, the size is 4. That means suppose like t001. Okay, since it is character, so it is a mixture of in terms of variable character and character. Okay, it is a mixture of alphabets and numbers. Okay, and some special symbols. So here in this case, t number has to be fixed. That means it all the t number has to be 4 characters long. Suppose like t001, t002, t003, as such. Okay, if it is just t01, okay, that is only 3 letters, then one size one size is kept vacant, right? So what will happen is that, okay, in that case, uh, the wrong data will be entered. Okay, and in that case, okay, then error will be displayed. Okay, so just keep in mind that a character data type is fixed length. Okay, so when you specify the size, the data has to be exact. Okay, and in this case of varying length. Okay, so similarly you have the number data type. Okay, so number data type, under that comes all the different types of numbers, that is the integer numbers, double, float numbers, as you have in C++ also. Okay, uh, within the parenthesis w and b is written. Okay, so here the number with precision W and scale P. Okay, precision represents the maximum significant digits allowed, okay, which may not exceed 38. Scale is the number of decimal places. Okay, so scale represents the number of digits after the decimal point. Okay, so if you have your salary number 7,2, okay, so 7 represents the maximum digits that is allowed, okay, and here 2 represents the value or the digits after decimal points. That is, suppose like, okay, you have total of 7 values, okay, and then 5 values, 5 values, uh, uh, 2 values to the right of the decimal point. Okay, so you have, suppose like 10000.50. Okay, so you have 5 digits on the left, and after that on the decimal, after decimal, okay, you have 2 values. Okay, so that represents the precision and scale. Okay, similarly again you have a date data type. Now date data type is in the format ddmmyy or yymmdd. Okay, so date is a representation of say like the month, the day, and the year. Okay, so that can also be, the date can also be represented by variable character. Okay, by variable character data type. However, date has in SQL, date has its own data type. Okay, so you don't need to specify the size as you have seen here. Okay, in this particular example, the date's size is not mentioned. Okay, because it is in under the format ddmmyy or yymmdd. Okay, so that way if you use this variable character, okay, what will happen for the date, what will happen is that human are prone to errors. Now you may write down the date in a different format, so that's why uh, date has its own data type called as date. Okay, so we have seen these how to create a table, the syntax. Okay, so create table, that is the table name. Okay, and within the parentheses the column names, all the column names are mentioned along with the data type and the size, and all the columns are along with the data type and the size are separated by comma. Okay, so you can have as many columns as you wish, as you want. Okay, it should end with the closing braces, closing parenthesis, and a semicolon. Okay, so this is a DTL command. So create table will create a table. So once a table is created, okay, the table name is unique. You cannot have the same table name twice. Okay, so once you create the table teacher, you cannot create another table by the same name teacher. Okay, you can create, suppose like TACHERS, it is possible, or teacher one, but not the same teacher, but not the same table name teacher. Okay, however you can have the same column name in a different table also. Okay, so here the 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 table name or the column name are not case sensitive. Okay, so that is, that it means that when you create a table, here it is written in uppercase letters. Okay, but when you find a query, even if you do not write down in uppercase letters, okay, the compiler will not show any error. The in case of in terms of case sensitivity, it is when you enter the data values, like for variable characters or characters. Okay, suppose name. Now when you enter the name data in capital letters, John is entered in capital letter. So when you are searching for the query for John, okay, you have to write down in capital letter. If you write on small letter, the compiler will not detect the name John. Okay, so similarly here, describing the structure of the table. Okay, so describing the structure of the table, okay, it will display the column names, the data types, okay, and then constraints that you have created, that is why you have created the table. Okay, so when you use this query command, describe table name or desc table name, that is say like describe teacher or desc teacher. Okay, it will display the structure of the teacher table, how you have created. Okay, so on this will be the format under the column, under the column name, all the column names. Okay, so under the type, that means the data types, what are the data types that you have used. Okay, and some key constraints that will be added. Okay, so describe keyword is used to show the structure of the table. Okay, so once you have created the table, okay, you just try this query, this SQL query. You type this, okay, and then you see this kind of format will be shown. Okay, so similarly, okay, next you have is the alter table. So I hope that you have watched the link. Okay, so alter table is used to modify the table. Okay, it is used to make changes to the table, inserts like the columns, okay, the size, the types. Okay, so in here, in the first one, is the add clause. Okay, so I'll come straight to the example. Okay, here, alter table teacher. Okay, so this is how you use the syntax, the format: alter table, table name. Okay, always table name. Okay, add, and within the parenthesis, okay, so this is the new column you're adding, that is phone number. This alter table is used to make modifications to an already existing table. Okay, so add phone number. Okay, so you can see here ph underscore number, so you can see that the column names can have special symbols like underscore also. Okay, and then along with that, when you're creating a new column, okay, when you're creating a new column, you must also mention the data type and then the size. How, what is the size of that column? Okay, that means how, what is the value, the size, maximum value size of that particular column. Okay, phone number, so all the phone numbers will be up to 7 digits or 7 numbers. Okay, and then close by the parenthesis and then semicolon. So this will add a new column in the teacher table. Okay, so a new column will be added in the teachers table. Okay, so by default, when you add a new column in the existing table, okay, that column will be added on the last, so that column will come on the right hand, on the rightmost side. Okay, but if you want to change the alignment of the column, suppose like the structure is teacher number, teacher name, address, salary, department number, and say like this one, phone number will come last. Okay, but if suppose you want the phone number, okay, you want the phone number uh, to come after t number, okay, in between t number and t name. Okay, so here before the semicolon you just write here, okay, after, okay, space t number. Okay, so here you don't for the teacher number column, you do not need to mention the specify the column, the data type, and then the size, because while you have created the table, this the data type and then the size has already been mentioned, declared, right? So only for a new column you need to specify the data type and then the size. Okay, or you can write alter table teacher add phone number, okay, number size 7 before t name. Okay, so that will come in between this teacher number and t name. Okay, so you can use the before and after clause, okay, to adjust the setting of your column, okay, wherever you want to appear. Okay, now keep in mind that since you have different templates to run this SQL, okay, like Oracle 9i, okay, MySQL, SQL Server, okay, so the queries will work differently in different softwares. Okay, what may work for Oracle may not work for in MySQL in such case. Okay, so you have to change the setting a bit. So similarly, okay, if you want to using the modify clause, okay, to modify the definition of an existing column. Okay, so here you can see that alter table, table name, modify. So this is the syntax: modify column data type. Okay, so here you are changing the data type, that is in this case, okay, see, alter table teacher, modify phone number, number size is 10. So here you are changing the size of that particular column. Okay, so instead of 7, in the earlier case it was 7. Okay, so that was already created, so that was already added. But now let's say that you realize that the phone number is not 7 digits but 10 digits, right? So you want to correct that. So that can be done, correction can be done using the modify clause. Okay, so these SQL queries are very easy to understand, but at the same time they are very easy to forget. Okay, because since it's very easy, if you do not keep practice it regularly, okay, so you will forget these keywords. Okay, so that's why uh, daily practice is necessary. Okay, so this will make changes to the size of the data type, okay, of that particular column. Now again, to drop a column, okay, so the syntax is alter table teacher drop column phone number. Now in some softwares it may, if you just write alter table teacher drop phone number, okay, then in that case also it will work. But in some software you have to mention the column, drop column phone number. Okay, here also you don't need to mention the data type and then the size, because the phone number has already been created by the add clause, add column phone number, right? Okay, so here when you have to, when it is an existing column, you don't need to mention the data type and the size anymore. Okay, so this will delete the whole column, the phone number column, from this table teacher. Okay, so similarly, you have what is called as drop table command. Okay, so this drop table command, it will drop the entire table. Okay, that means it will remove the entire table. So if you use the command drop table teacher, then the teacher table will be dropped from the database. It will no longer exist in the database. So this has to be used carefully. Okay, because once you drop the table, uh, that data is gone. Okay, so this is used for removing the table from the database. Okay, so that will be all for today. In the next class I'll discuss about the integrity constraints and then the data manipulation language commands.